Welcome to another edition of our Sawdust City Happy Hour tastings, and welcome to May 24 weekend, everybody. It's a time that we all love to be able to gather around, be with some loved ones when we can. It might be virtual this year, of course, because of the pandemic ongoing, but that doesn't mean we can't enjoy some fantastic beer. And as always, I'm joined by Sam Corbeil, the brewmaster and co-founder of Sawdust City Brewing. As today, Sam, we are finishing off the fourth and final in the lager series, which I have deeply enjoyed because you have exposed me over the last month of these tastings on Fridays here to some beers that I didn't know the styles. I wasn't really aware of California Common. I wasn't super familiar with the box style. And today we get something extremely unique once again, which is soft bodied pills. Why don't you tell us about the origin here as I show people the can art?
Well, we wanted to do the soft body pills today because we figured it was like probably the best way to enter into the long weekend. And we got a couple of the beers we're going to talk about. I think the best way to introduce it and sort of discuss it is to bring Jimbo in, the guy who did design the soft body pills. So James is going to come in. James is our production manager, and he's going to talk about the origins of a style that doesn't really exist until now.
So James, how did you I guess manipulate the traditional style and come up with something unique here?
Just added some wheat to it to soften it up, and some calcium chloride, which adds to a nice soft mouthfeel.
There we go, cracking it open. I'm excited to say as well, this is actually the first time that I've had this one. I've been saving it until I had the opportunity to taste it with you guys. So on the first pour here, what should I be getting?
Get a little bit of hop aroma, maybe some like biscuity aroma from the Pilsner malt. It should be a pale color as well. And yeah.
Beautiful. Oh yeah, that is smooth.
Unlike the other ones we've done, this one's like definitely hop forward.
Yeah.
So it's kind of smashing together the New England style, like those juicy IPAs with old school pills.
Yeah, I saw on the back of the can as well in the description here that it says we took the brand new German hop Tango and put a new twist on an old style. So Tango, what is unique about Tango? Where did Tango come from, and what was it like to work with it for this project?
Tango's just a new hop out of Germany. I guess some of the hop growers out there are trying some new stuff. It's got a higher alpha acid than like your typical hop that you would use in a Pilsner. So that sort of lends to the more New Englandy IPA side of it.
And we were actually the first brewery in Canada to use Tango.
Wow.
Dan from Brew Culture sort of showed us a couple different varieties, and we all went to their shop and did a hop rub, and Tango was the one that most closely resembled like that big oily U.S. Pacific Coast hop. In the past, German hops have typically been pretty like muted. They don't have the same sort of robust character that you'd find in a U.S. hop. I mean, hops are like grapes. Where you grow them is going to dictate a lot of where that character comes from.
Right.
So Northwest U.S. hops, are traditionally dank and oily and big, and hence that West Coast IPA. German hops are typically peppery or flowery. So this is the first one we came across that we were able to mimic that U.S. sort of character.
Yeah, and then I guess the interesting part for me of working with something unique, different, that is kind of a smash together of these concepts is, did you run into anything as you were in the creation process and the testing process where you went, oh, that's not really the way we thought that it would turn out on the other side? Because anytime you're trying to use something new and different, you're going to hit some of those walls you would anticipate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think I was just sort of expecting the unexpected. Like, I didn't really know how it was going to come out.
That's the best though. Is that not? Like, that's the experimentation and the fun of trying to work around things like that.
Like, it can't be that bad. So you sort of go for it.
That's awesome. And the other thing I wanted to mention there, Sam, too, is that you mentioned the term oily. And for people that don't necessarily understand where that comes from, or how you like the word oily as an adjective to describe a hop or the mouthfeel perhaps of a beer, where does that come from and what does that mean?
Well, it's the oil content in the actual hop. So some of them are oily. When you touch them,
like very resiny and
sticky and like it is oily. So there's an oil content is something you look at when you're selecting hops. And typically Northwestern U.S. hops are oily, as opposed and sticky, like dank. Like
Yeah.
we all know, weed and hops are related. So the bigger oily ones are from here. They really resemble feeling hot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the way that you are able to use that oil to your advantage is how then?
Oh, well, that's where you get that big sticky aroma. You get it, you can almost feel it on your teeth. Like old school US hot, like IPAs used to be like enamel coated.
Bitter.
And like with this was more about the new style. Like we didn't use a lot of the bittering hop. It's all at the end and dry hopping to bring out that aroma as opposed to just the bitterness. And then the soft body really makes it super drinkable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And how did the can art come about for this one? Because we've had fun, Sam, the last little while talking about the origin stories, and of course, Dave's Affordable Dortmunder was a realism. It was a photo of Noel's dad and all the rest. So where did the Jesus pieces come from here with the high socks?
Just sort of, we were throwing around ideas on what we want to do for the label. We didn't really have any ideas jumping out at us, so they asked me, you got any type of graphic you would like to see? And I just socks and sandals. I don't know, just.
And then Sandy came up with that, and it was perfect. Like even the name, it really was just a working title, and then when it came out, it was like that's perfect.
Yeah.
It just stuck.
Yeah, and it's funny too because as somebody who, and my name is Marshall Ferguson, and when I played football, the best feeling you can have when you take your feet out of cleats, which are basically just 7 different pressure points that are stabbing you in the bottom of your foot for hours on end. Anybody who's played soccer, football otherwise knows that, is I would slip on socks and sandals, like just slides with the sock, and it's the softest, most comfortable thing ever, which is why I laughed when I saw soft Bodied Pils. I'm like, there's nothing softer than a fresh pair of new socks going inside of the sandals. So I did laugh when I saw that for sure.
Well, I'm glad you sort of picked up on it.
Yeah, I'm glad that you guys were able to nail that one for you as well. So it's anything else people should know about the lager series here, guys, before we wrap up, as we've done, I can't believe it's been a month worth of these. They've been delicious the entire way through. I feel like we did the Gravenhurst steam yesterday, but it is a full month ago. But it's a great undertaking. I know it's been an ongoing process, but all 4 of them are crazy unique and interesting.
Well, I mean, we're going to do it again next year. This is the second time we've done it, and we really like where it's going and how they turn out. It allows us a little bit of artistic expression, each of us, and it's a fun series. We like to talk about it. We have that tasting tonight, so hopefully, it'll push more people to try some new lagers. I mean, it's sad that lagers have sort of drifted away out of this craft beer mainstream, but there's so many delicious, awesome lagers out there, especially at this time of year. Like summertime is like you want lagers, man. Like when you're done mowing the lawn, when you're out watching, the Leafs beat the Canadians, you're gonna want to have some lagers.
It's I can attest. I cut the grass last week, and I did it with a lone pine, and I kind of wish I had a lager.
Nice.
I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong; it was delightful. But about halfway through cutting the grass, I'm like, I just kind of want to go sit on the back deck and have another beer. Which is, I think, the effect that Lone Pine has on most people for sure. But yeah, it's great. We'll be sure to keep people updated on everything that's happening with the developing series here. I know that you guys have some new releases coming out in the next little while, but we have 2 specifically, Sam, today that we wanted to dive into and give people a heads up because, if I'm not mistaken, Juicing is available as of right now in the online store. And also we want to talk about passion fruit guava as well, which I know for my fiance, the second that I turned my phone towards her when I saw the social media post about it, she looked at that and went, hell yeah.
Yeah, it looks amazing. Like Sandy really knocked it out of the park with the label this year. James it was his idea to put the passion fruit guava together when we did the, it was like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It was for a contest at a beer festival, and then it ended up winning, so it went to the LCBO, and we've been brewing it ever since. And it's always like a May 2-4 sort of summer kickoff original, and people sort of expect it at this time of year. And it is unofficial kickoff to drinking season. So
Oh yeah.
Well, I have
bring
to
in the
laugh
passion
too.
fruit.
Yeah, I have to laugh too because I did see someone on Twitter who responded to you guys saying, new release is coming soon and check it out. And I opened up the tweet and there's a reply right underneath that's like, it's almost May 2-4. Where the hell is the passion fruit guava? And I was like, wow, people like just guilty of expectation at this point. Like, give me the stuff that I want immediately because they love what you guys do. But I was like, man, people are demanding when they love your stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
You know, we got and we have to bring it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's our job as brewers to provide. So,
Mhm.
and with the new can this year, I think it's like even revitalized it a little
Yeah. Yeah.
bit. We really love it. Just when they came in, looking at it, it just like, oh my god, it looks so good. So that hit the shelves probably tomorrow at the LCBO.
Nice. Awesome.
It's
Okay. So
shipped
people,
out, and it'll be province wide. There should be an end aisle at a lot of LCBOs throughout the province. So take a look for it there. But then I'll let you talk about juicing.
Okay. We got
Beautiful.
juice in here. It's like a New England style IPA. I don't know how many years we've been making it.
I think this is 5 too.
5 years. And this is a beer that our old head brewer, Caleb Gilgan, and I came up with. And yeah, it's people seem to enjoy it. So we've been making it every year.
It was our first New England that we did. You know what? It was done for a contest too. It was
really?
The mustache.
the mustache one.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
used to do a contest about we would go to the only cafe in Toronto and we had a mustache competition. And if you won the best mustache competition, you could come up and brew a beer.
Hey.
And Caleb, what was his buddy's name?
Oh, I can't remember. Very nice guy.
Very nice guy. And he had an amazing, like,
waxed up.
it was awesome.
Of course, and nobody ever wins with like the little short mustache or the finely groomed.
Yeah.
It's got to be curly and waxed at the top.
Yeah. I want to see product in it.
Oh, yeah. And they had to come up, and it wasn't just how it looked, but it was also you had to tell the origin story of your mustache.
Nice.
And his origin story was just, it sold it. It was amazing. So you had to get up in front of everybody and discuss your mustache. And then him and Caleb and James sort of came up with the juicing, and it's been going ever since. And at the time, there was hardly any New Englands in Ontario. So again, it sort of became another May 2-4 marker where we release it. For us, this is a busy season. We don't have a lot of people traveling up here in the dead of winter. So once May 2-4 hits and the cottagers come down, we like to give them something special and something that they can look forward to each and every year.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, the rest of the releases that are coming in June will continue that momentum that you guys have going throughout the end of May here and looking towards what we hope is going to be a season of reopening and people being able to get back to the saloon and everything else that I know you guys are looking forward to so much over there. So thank you for the soft body pill, James. Appreciate it. That is delightful. It is wonderful. And we're looking forward to having more tastings moving forward here with everything that you guys have to offer. Thank you for the time today.
All right. Thanks,
Mario.
man. Cheers.
Cheers, boys.